We are limited not by our abilities, but by our vision. Everyone wants to be successful, and most people want to have a successful career. But what does it mean to have a successful career? And what does success mean to you personally? This is what Steve Jobs said in his earlier years of founding Apple. We started out to get a computer in the hands of everyday people, and we succeeded beyond our wildest dreams. That was his vision at that time, to get a computer into the hands of everyday people. And there are other sources that say that his vision was a future with a computer on every worker's desk. At that time, computers were still a luxury. Nowadays, it would be something like having a 3D printer at your home, which is still quite rare. But now we've gotten to a point where almost everyone, at least 100% of you guys watching right now, has their own computer. So if Steve Jobs were still alive today, I'm pretty sure that he would need to change his vision. And this shows that visions can change over time. But at least back then in the 70s and the 80s, Steve Jobs had this clear vision that he wanted a future where there was a computer on every worker's desk. And that clear vision that he had at that time led him to success, as we all know. And just imagine what the world would be like today if Steve Jobs had a different vision. What if his vision were something like, I want to build the most powerful supercomputer in the world? Or as Steve Jobs really loved to travel in his spare time, what if his vision was to become the world's most famous travel blogger or to build the world's biggest airline? Imagine how different his life would have been. So how does this apply to us normal people who are perhaps not planning on building a computer empire? We need a vision just as much. If you want to have a successful career, you need a vision for your career. My vision is to get promoted in 6 months, to get a 50% salary raise, to work for Google. But no, these are not visions, these are goals. I mean, of course, if you wanted to, you could have this kind of vision, to get a job in a senior management position at Google or Apple within the next 6 months. But this kind of approach would be rather short-sighted. Why? Because things might change, policies might change, company politics might change, and suddenly you will find yourself wanting to move to a different company, let's say Tesla. But after achieving that goal, then you ask yourself, what's next? Because your current vision would no longer be relevant. So what makes a vision different from a goal then? Goals are means to an end. A vision, on the other hand, is the ideal destiny that you want to reach. You could say that it's an end goal or a meta goal. Your vision, for example, could be to develop groundbreaking computer games that have never been done before. The goals, on the other hand, could consist of many shorter-term goals where you develop all sorts of games that have a smaller scope and develop concepts that ultimately all point to that vision. A vision has some permanency, and the reason that I say some is that even a vision can change. If the vision is already achieved or it no longer serves your purpose, then it can and it even should change. But at least for now, for this moment, as far as your eyes can see, a vision is the most permanent of all goals. If your vision is to provide an unforgettable dining experience to people, you cannot easily substitute that vision with something else. For example, to provide people with the best musical entertainment experience that they ever had in their life. But the means or the goals by which you achieve that vision can change because things change. The economy changes and people's lifestyles changes, so you need to always adapt and change your goals to meet that new reality. You can offer molecular gastronomy, fusion, or whatever, but your vision to provide people with an excellent culinary experience does not change. Now let's get into the 5 reasons why you need to have a vision for your career. And at the end of the video, I will also share with you why having a vision for your career will make you a happier and more fulfilled person. By the way, if you found this video useful so far, then please let me know by smashing the like button. The first reason why you need to have a vision is because a vision acts as a magnet. You need a vision to pull you into the right direction. And here by right direction, I mean personal success, what you personally define as success. Let's just admit it, life can be so distracting and it pulls you in many different directions. How about going to the mall this afternoon instead of writing that book? But if you have a vision, an ideal state of what you want your career to look like clearly in your mind, then that vision will energize you and it will pull you like a magnet in its direction. And the clearer and more inspiring your vision is, the stronger that magnetic pull will be, and it will make everything so much easier. If you know without a doubt that your vision is to help people manage their personal finances or to help people achieve financial freedom, and if you keep that vision clearly in front of your eyes, it will be so easy to align all your goals and your moves to that. The second reason why you need to have a vision for your career is because a vision sets constraints. Have you ever wondered or have you ever been confused about what to do next in your career? If you have a clear vision, it will be much easier to come up with a strategy for your career. What to do, when to do it, and how to do it. Look, if you just think about setting goals, there are a million goals in the world that you could possibly set for yourself. And if you don't proactively set your goals for yourself, then others will set goals for you. Did you ever have the experience of a well-meaning parent or relative ask you, why not get a PhD or why not learn Mandarin? These are all great goals, but logically speaking, we cannot set ourselves all the goals that exist out there in the world. It would not be possible, and it would also spread our resources too thin. So how do you then decide whether to get another degree in psychology or to start your own coaching business? By having a clear vision, it will make the goal setting process so much easier, because it will ultimately be your vision that dictates which goals to set and which goals to drop. Which habits you need to develop and which habits you need to stop. Which kind of self-image, that means the way that you see yourself, that you need to nurture, and which kinds of destructive self-images that you need to kill. Learning Mandarin is definitely useful. Everyone would tell you this. And if I had unlimited time in the world, I would definitely be doing this. However, time is limited. So I go and consult my vision and ask myself, would learning Mandarin be something that supports or helps me to achieve my vision? And because the answer is no, I don't do it. The third reason why you need to have a vision for your career is because a vision will help you to prevent opportunistic behavior. And what I mean by opportunistic behavior here is that you overly focus on taking advantage of the current circumstances. You make decisions based on what you think is the most advantageous to you at this very moment, instead of thinking of the long-term implications. You do things that in the short term might seem very beneficial to you, but will cheat you out of your long-term outcomes. An easy example is if you go to the supermarket and buy yourself a tub of Haagen-Dazs ice cream, which by the way is so delicious and it's on sale for $2.50, even though you've just decided that you want to go on a keto diet. And in your career, this would mean that you decide to switch to a job that only pays you $5,000 more, even though you know that this step would mean that you would divert from what you really want to do in the long term. If you don't have a vision for your career, you will decide things based on what looks good and feels good in the short term. You will sacrifice your long-term goals for the short-term ones. The fourth reason why you need to have a vision for your career is because it helps you to avoid paralyzing dilemmas. I'm not sure if you've faced a major career dilemma so far, but in the case that you did, please let me know in the comments below. I for sure have faced many career dilemmas in my life, but having a vision, although it's not as crystal clear as I would like it to be yet, has helped me every time to make a decision that is best for me in the long term. Let's say that you are faced with two career decisions. One would require you to move to another state, or here in Canada to another province. You would work at a smaller company, but you would get a promotion. The other option is staying put where you are now, working at a larger company, but not getting any promotion. If you don't have a vision for your career, this can turn into a huge dilemma. What to decide now and what decisions to make in the future. But if you have a clear vision, then this will act like a judge for you. You can present a case for both of these options, and your vision will tell you which path you should choose that would bring you closer to that vision. Reason number 5 why you need a vision for your career is that a vision can make you a happier person despite your pain and your suffering. Pursuing a career can be very exhausting, and please tell me in the comments below how often you find yourself totally exhausted with your job or your career that you're pursuing, especially if you're not 100% on board with what you're doing right now. And even though you're pursuing something that you really love doing, there can be days where everything can seem very tiring. You work endless hours and you're just so exhausted. When you ask yourself, why am I suffering? Why am I going through all this pain? Waking up early in the morning every day, working until late at night, working on the weekends, sacrificing so much of my free time. Is there actually any point in doing this? And what is the purpose of bearing this burden? And here's a quote from Jordan Peterson that I want to share with you. The purpose of life is finding the largest burden that you can bear and bearing it. People are actually willing to bear a large burden if they believe that there's something worth fighting for. And that is your vision. Your vision is what will help to sustain you through the most difficult times. Hey guys, if you found this video useful and if you want to support my channel, then the best thing that you could do is to share this video to your family, to your friends, and on social media. That would really mean a lot to me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again next time.